Can you imagine a preacher taking up an offering and saying, well, don't give until you make peace with someone against you? Well, Jesus said to do that before you give. Jesus said, make peace first. Good morning and welcome to 755 Live. For about 5 minutes, you'll hear all about easy to remember soundbite versions of what Jesus said. And the point is to help you experience life to the fullest the Jesus way. Today's Jesus Said comes from Matthew 5:23 through 24, and you can find that command at our weekday Bible plan at bible.today.church. But I want to read quite a bit today. We're going to start in verse 21 and go through 26 to really get the context of what Jesus was saying here. Reading from the NET translation, in Matthew 5:21, Jesus said, "You have heard that it was said to an older generation, 'Do not murder, and whoever murders will be subject to judgment.' But I say to you that anyone who is angry with a brother will be subjected to judgment, and whoever insults a brother will be brought before the council, and whoever says 'fool' will be sent to fiery hell. So then, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First, go and be reconciled to your brother, and then come and present your gift. Reach agreement quickly with your accuser while on the way to court, or he may hand you over to the judge, and the judge hand you over to the warden, and you will be thrown into prison. I tell you the truth, you will never get out of there until you have paid the last penny." Now, unpacking this, a lot of people get nervous when you start talking about giving or start talking about money. I just want to start by saying, God doesn't need your money. Giving is not about like paying your membership dues like a God tax. It's about our heart. And the gift here that Jesus was talking about, it was a temple sacrifice. It was part of the worship experience, which is what giving should actually be. And we can get caught up in the gift and miss the point. It's a heart issue. It's about reconciliation. And this may not seem related, but in Matthew 9, verses 11 through 13, there's an interaction with the Pharisees and Jesus, and they ask the disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with these tax collectors and sinners?" And Jesus said, those who are healthy don't need a physician, those who are sick. And then he quotes from Hosea 6:6 and says, "Go figure out what this means. I want mercy, not sacrifice." Now that mercy implies kindness. It implies restoration, reconciliation. The same principle that Jesus is talking about here, where he says, make peace first. Don't bring your gift without having a heart of reconciliation. Mercy actually equals empathy, and reconciliation requires mercy and empathy. We have to find some common ground, like Paul talked about in Romans 12:15 through 18. He said, "Rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep, live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Don't be conceited, or do not be conceited. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Consider what is good for all people. If possible, as far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all people." You see, the kind of gift that Jesus expects, it's not a huge amount of money, although that's not a bad thing. But reconciliation is the real gift. And the opposite of reconciliation is hypocrisy, pride. And hypocrisy justifies itself by condemning others, by asking questions like, who's my neighbor? Who's my brother? Do I really have to do that? But Paul tells us in Galatians 6 that the process of restoration is when someone falls, you consider yourself restoring them in a spirit of mercy and kindness. See, sacrifice isn't to get mercy, it's to remind us of mercy so we can be merciful to others. So if you have something to give, if you want to really worship, how's your heart? And are you reconciled with those against you? Jesus said, make peace first. How can you put that into action today? Thank you so much for listening. As always, if this is meaningful to you, it means a lot when you like it, when you share it, when you comment. I really appreciate you. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I hope this time together has helped you live life to the fullest, the Jesus way. And remember, follow Jesus today. Love first.